Speedrunning fans around the world, welcome back to Pixel Perfect Marathon 3. We appreciate you tuning in, be it live on Twitch or if you're catching this on our YouTube VODs. Please consider giving us a follow or liking and subscribing to know when more Pixel Perfect content becomes available. Everyone, I have been having a blast, and I know that you have been too. So let's get hyped one more time because we are ready for our final run of day one of PPM 3. This runner is the world record holder for Rayman Origins Any Percent and just recently moved up to the 6th spot on Splatoon Any Percent leaderboard. So let's give a pixel perfect welcome to L Cloud as they do an Any Percent run of Splatoon. Take it away, Cloud.
Hello everyone, I'm Claudio, also known as Cloud, and I'm going to be running Splatoon Any Percent. In this time, compared to the last Pixel Perfect Marathon, I have a commentator. Hydrus.
Hello everyone, I'm Hydrus. I'm the former world record holder across all categories in this game. I'm a top player. Haven't been playing too much recently, but you know, the new skips kind of brought me back, and I'm excited to commentate and explain everything, you know, going on today. Splatoon 1's a great game.
Alright, so I'm going to check the poll that Jasper put on the chat. So Gears win, so I'm going to pick Inkfinger, so...
That's pretty base, that's what I use.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a big misconception of the gender. It doesn't really impact the run at all, it just impacts like the aesthetic and what color the ink is. And that's all.
Alright, so I'm going to start the run in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, and we're getting into tutorial here. It's interesting because in the newest Splatoon game, we actually voted to not have tutorial in the run, but for a really long time, you were just forced to play the tutorial, you know, even though it's not technically a part of the run, it's what you play from a new file. I think this is one of the most annoying tutorials probably in the series. I hate this. I hate resetting to the balloons.
Yeah, everyone hate this tutorial. You have a lot of RNG in this weapon, so it's really, really annoying that you need to restart every single time that you got bad RNG.
Yeah, this weapon that you use, you don't actually use in the single player. It's called the Splatter Shot Junior, and the shot deviation or the shot spread is very wide, so it's very hard getting it accurately. This will be about, I have to look at the timer here, a 51 tutorial. That is a world record. No, I'm just kidding. Usually, I would say top burners usually aim for about sub 50 tutorial. I'd say it's pretty solid. I forget what your goal is specifically, but...
My goal is at 49.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think the CG is like a high 47 or something. So, yeah, the intro... Now, I will say one thing. The intro for this game is definitely... It seems annoying, but it's definitely not as long as some of the other Splatoon games and some other, you know, speed games. It's quickly, you know, sped up by having Japanese. You know, Japanese saves about, 18 seconds in this whole introductory sequence. Now, I don't know how much time it saves exactly with some of the new stuff. I used to save 36 seconds in the old route with my timing. But that probably got cut, a little bit. It's probably, maybe 25 now, I'd say, or something like that.
I think it's about 22 to 25 seconds of time I'm used to playing Japanese. And I'm playing on the version 1.0.0.
Yeah, so that's another factor I guess we can kind of explain. I didn't get into the version, but it's actually a very minor thing people don't understand. So there's actually a couple of small mechanical, gameplay differences, and you actually get slightly faster loads, about 2 seconds faster in loading times. For the levels, saves 0.1, 0.2 there. I know loading into the single player here, that's about 1 second faster on version 1.0, which is crazy. As for, gameplay differences, I believe I forget its name. Oh, the squeegees. The squeegees at the end of level 2, those move a lot faster, so getting that cycle consistently is a lot harder than on the modern patch. We're going to throw a bomb and unlock this.
When I moved from the latest version to 1.0, I noticed that it was harder to get the cannonless in level 2.
Right, yeah. Unfortunately, this level doesn't really have any tricks that I can confidently say. It's really
We
just
just
a
got
lot
some
of movement.
cycles, and that's it.
Yeah, it's just a couple of basic enemy cycles. You're going to be noticing, too, it doesn't look like Cloud is going to be going out of his way to get the currency in the game, which is called these little orbs called power eggs. He's going to be getting about 40 to 50 of them, and this is for a routing, kind of, or how can I describe it? It's for a money route to buy a type of grenade after the second level, or a type of bomb. It's going to be, needs about 100 after level 2. So, orb count is looking pretty good right now. Usually if you have above 40, you don't need to go out of your way too much going into the next level. But yeah, this is fairly straightforward. A mechanic that I actually don't think a lot of people know about, I actually learned this in one of the longer categories, is that if you chain together killing enemies, you actually get a power egg multiplier. So you want to kill those enemies as fast as possible and chain the multiplier so you get more eggs. So that's why you see Claude that's why you see him keep on killing, like, enemies, because it actually gives you more eggs. I kind of love that little jingle at the end there. Super iconic. Yeah, it's crazy. This game is 8 years old, and it got one of the biggest...
Alright, so this is level 2. As we mentioned, there's a small, like, cycle in the last section of the level.
Just a small
Which
one,
is
just 10 seconds.
just a small cycle that is really annoying to deal with sometimes. And it's a strat called Canonless.
Yeah, not the
You know?
SM64 one. It's this game's Canonless.
Yeah.
No, basically Claude is trying to hit this thing called a global cycle, so the objects in the level are loaded in and they're moving at all times. So he has to be moving as fast. 3-second leeway to make this depending on how fast you go. And, he's also trying to get enough eggs as well. A mechanic that you're going to be seeing in this next room is picking up an item such as an armor or a special weapon. If you carry it to the end of the level, you still have it. You'll get an extra 10 power eggs, which is pretty convenient. You can get that armor on the way to the end without really losing time, taking a bad line, and little lead strat for that room, throwing a bomb to kill his Tammys. Always love that. Hate when it misses, though. So yeah, normally, you see up there, before he drops down, you have to use that cannon to paint 3 shots in the wall, I believe, or 4, but you can just paint the wall, go up there, and jump out, see if he gets it. A tiny bit of a delay. Oh, and he gets it. Just has to ink the top. It's very hard to get that perfect, and 92, it's going to give you 102. So very good Canonless. Good job to Claude on that. Get that 10 egg bonus. And now you're going to be seeing some pretty cool little menuing action here. So, you didn't know, Claude is playing on a gamepad. And the gamepad has a touchscreen. And you want to know, how does he do that so fast? Well, we actually use the touchscreen for menuing. So super jumping to levels and buying grenades. He's going to be buying this thing called the Seeker. Looks like this little Tamagotchi robot, little thing, or looking thing. But it's actually going to be used to...
Well, I'd like to see this as a, the static, like, homing attack in the 3 games. Like, when the homing attack doesn't see an enemy, he just go forward. And this is the case with this, like, bomb or grenade, when you want to call it, where you want to call it.
Yeah, so if you've played the other Splatoon games, the Seeker is kind of like a worse version of the curling bomb. But it's weird, because it has aspects that are worse about it, but also aspects that are better. Like, it home on to enemies, it does a ton of damage, it's really good for unlocks. Claude used it to unlock the kettle, which, that's the fastest way to unlock a kettle. You throw a Seeker, and, you shoot 2 times. But the best thing about the Seeker that you're going to be seeing a lot in this level especially is it's really good for taking a straightaway. You're just throwing down a Seeker, swinging behind it, and you don't have to keep popping out of the ink, inking forward, popping out of the ink. It's really nice. It helps you hit this cycle at the end, this faster cycle, and save a lot of time. Again, it's a very simple level. There's not a ton going on. Still wants to get some eggs, because we're actually going to be buying another grenade. It's actually a water balloon. It's called Burst Bomb. We're going to be buying that later on in the run. We're going to be needing that for some levels in World 5, actually, to for some strats. It's really funny about this boss because he's actually appeared in every Splatoon game in some form, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
He appears as the boss in this game, Splatoon 2, the DLC for Splatoon 2 Octo expansion, and he even appears as the first boss in Splatoon 3. One of the, antagonists basically zombifies him, which is pretty funny. Always kind of a running joke. It's kind of like Will-O-Wisp in Kirby. How he kind of appears in every game. It's kind of the Octo Stomp.
Yeah, I really couldn't imagine a Splatoon game without this guy. He's really important.
I know. Yeah, he's really important milestone. It's funny because he's so easy. Resetting in this boss, I feel like you always get the most upset because this is one of those straightforward bosses. Literally, you just wait for him to stomp down, and then you go up. Had a little bit of issue with the restream there, so
okay.
sorry if I was a bit
Something to explain here is that you will see that I'm changing bombs when I'm like aiming.
Oh yes,
the tentacle. It's a pretty cool glitch called rapid fire glitch. Basically, while using this, you final boss, DJ Octavio.
Seems like I am experiencing a bit of packet loss. So if I do seem a bit disconnected, everyone, that is why. My ISP is not the best sometimes. But yeah, as Cloud was kind of saying, if you do the RFG on the boss tentacle for each of the 3 phases, that saves about 2 seconds overthrowing a Seeker and just shooting, which is what the OG strat used to be. And that's actually what the, I think it's what the restricted strat is, actually. So
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. So we're getting into the biggest trick of the run here. There's a lot to go over here. I don't know if you want to start it off. There's a lot to go over here. So we're going to just be going straight. You think we're going to be playing World 2 here? We're actually going to be not. We're going to be skipping Worlds 2
And World 3.
Yeah, so this takes about 21 minutes. The biggest skip in the entire series. So to start off, we're going to get this thing called Jump Storage. And there's a reason, we unlocked. There's a reason we unlocked that level of World 2. So we did get that jump storage. You're going to jump back to World 2. This is really difficult to explain. So basically what Cloud is trying to do here is he's trying to get a super jump off of this ink rail and throw a bomb at the perfect time, and then he's going to pause the game so the kettle is loaded in while the bomb explodes. And he does this 2 times. The bomb is basically going to unlock the kettle. Nice. Did get a little bit of time to get that super jump, but gets it pretty fast. I mean, he makes it look very easy, but it took me a while to get it. It's a newer optimization.
Also,
so now
that skip was discovered for Messiah. From Messiah.
Yeah, so shout out to Messiah. He actually discovered a couple of the other skips. Man, he didn't even unlock. If you had that first try, I would have been pretty hyped, but yeah, so usually the backup strat that people use here is the unlock a level to the left. It's above on a grading. It's called level 17, and if you fail World 4 skip, okay, it gets its second try. That is really good, honestly. People usually take a lot longer with World 4 skip, so I know we were kind of speedrunning the explanation there, but we just skipped the entirety of World 4. That's an additional 13-minute, 12-minute time save. So basically, with World 4 early, you can jump to level 18, I believe it is. Go there, Go up, and then you do World 4 skip, and it's weird because going from World... I don't think you're doing the cycle here, so I can take a bit of time to explain World 4.
I'm not going to do the cycle. It's really, really hard. So there's a cycle that only Lantro does, which is the current record holder. And he just got the first 27 run. So if you want to watch it, just do it. It's really amazing run. And it uses,
so that cycle has been a recent, development.
Yeah.
Shouts to Fundy, he actually made that viable. That level 24 Scream hard cycle, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's interesting because World 4 skip was discovered about 3 days after launch. And it's weird because going from World 4 to World 5, right? There's it's just a barrier, but you can actually swim on the ledge. You can ink it, and if you get on it, you know, it's only like 3 or 4 pixels wide. You can swim along the edge of the barrier and then go to the inkable wall behind it, and that just lets you skip World 4 in general. And the neat thing is, you know, the game only checks if you be in World 5. You know, all the levels are World 5. Doesn't matter if you completed the other levels. So, pretty cool sequence break. We haven't really had something like that, you know, until like the 3rd Splatoon game, I'd say.
No.
Ooh, yeah. I think that was a little bit of an early jump, because that definitely wasn't enough speed. Does
I
not
didn't have enough to speed.
Do you know the backup strat here?
Yep.
Okay. It's like, sorry, it was looking a bit choppy for me, so it was hard to see.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, at least I got the backup here. There.
Yeah, so because also, you know, you didn't do that 24 cycle, you have just enough power eggs, you have 100 there, to buy burst bombs. Now, burst bombs are extremely beneficial. He's going to buy it right before he enters 26 here. Again, using the touchscreen to menu. But, yeah, burst bombs are they're actually the fastest at spreading ink along surfaces, so they're really good for throwing a burst bomb at a wall. Fun fact here, since this is the first Octane level that you play in the run, you actually cannot skip the cutscene here because the game thinks it's the first Octane level that you play. Usually it's reserved for the one in World 2, which has another really cool glitch. But kind of a neat side effect of skipping World 2, you know, the game kind of still has that flag set in place. But yeah, gonna be throwing a burst bomb at that wall, spreading ink the fastest way, and it's also, burst bombs are really nice because they actually consume the least amount of ink.
Yeah, it's really good to like ink walls.
Yes. Yeah, because you can throw 2 without really upgrading your ink tank. And
you
can't
don't
really
have to rely on RNG sometimes.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to, you know. That's kind of a thing, it's kind of the thing as you get better at this game, you learn to manage shot
Your
RNG.
player in the shot.
Yeah. I love that burst bomb strategy. I really love doing that, because the thing is, you know, if you go too far forward, you actually trigger the cutscene, so you want to burst bomb immediately
Oh my God.
and then jump afterwards. This level's kind of weird.
I was dead here.
Yeah, I cannot hear so there's an audio cue to know if you got this quick kill or not. It happens, you know, after you get that key. Yeah. Nope, did not. Oh. Okay. Oh, wow. He was just a bit off cycle. That was really unfortunate. So it's really interesting to get the quick kill in this level, where you use that balloon to one-shot the enemy. Saves about a second. You actually have to lose a little bit of time after you pick up that key in the level itself, and that basically syncs him up on the global timer to be in his ink strike animation while he's next to balloon, and then you can throw the balloon. I gotta love this unlock. I remember choking a really good run to it. Does get the autosave. Nice jump there. And this level, I'd say it's one of the main RNG segments left in the run. You know, you can easily lose about 5 seconds here, or 10, if you get really unlucky. And at a really high level, this can really determine, you know, especially if you're behind, if you're going to save time or World 5 or not. Wow, I'm surprised you did not fall there. I'm very surprised. I remember dying in that exact spot. But yeah, what's the RNG that we're talking about? So the flutters in the last room, you know, they can kind of be wherever they feel like it, right? And that can make it more difficult or easier to get the key here. And especially when you get to the top level here, you unlock that geyser. You need a key, you need an Octo Commander to spawn in a specific position without losing too much time. And if you kill him, you get a key. And that key lets you get to the end of the level. Now, this Octo Commander can be wherever the heck he wants. Let's see kind of what he gets here.
It's not that bad, honestly.
That's pretty average. That loses about 3 seconds. At optimal RNG, you know, he's in the center. You don't have to take as wide of a line out. But yeah, that's pretty solid. I'd say the worst RNG is when he goes down, you know, on the right. That's definitely one of the worst instances you can get. That's pretty solid. Doesn't lose too much time there. Yeah, the nice thing about World 4 early is that it actually cuts out a lot of dumb RNG in World 3. It cuts out a lot of that. And really, if 25 is the only RNG segment that's left, I think that's pretty good. So you haven't seen a lot of burst bomb usage in World 5 yet. Major burst bomb usage. You're actually going to be seeing it in this level and in the
And
next
22
level.
also, the next one.
Yeah. The next 2 levels, you're going to be seeing a ton. You just saw it right there with the burst bomb. Burst bombs actually instantly... Yeah, you skipped the level in World 2, so I didn't really get to explain it, but burst bombs, because they spread ink so fast, they instantly inflate sponges. It's kind of a neat quirk. So, you're going to be seeing that a lot here, throwing a burst bomb to instantly activate a sponge. This is a little cool section. I don't think you see this anywhere else in the run, the Inkzuka.
Oh.
Oh, threw that a little bit... Yeah, shot that a little bit too early, so it fell down a bit there.
Yeah. It was a bit early. Just for a bit, like, some frames.
Yeah, the nice thing, too, is that, with Seekers, if a burst bomb... If a sponge is near a ledge and you throw a Seeker, it'll actually instantly inflate the sponge. So you'll see it a couple times. Oh my goodness. Misses the burst bomb there, but is able to recover. And luckily those Octobombers threw the Splat Bomb in a way, where you were still safe. Still a pretty good cycle here.
Okay.
Man, you could have died like 3 times in this level. Like, what's going on? Like, this
And now we're going to the last section, which we're going to manipulate the position of these Octos to make it really quickly.
Yeah, so basically they move, how can I describe it? They basically move perpendicular to you, I would say. So if you go on the right, they go on the left, and vice versa. So it's going to throw a Splat Bomb to kill that one on the left, and then he just shoots to kill the one on the right. So really solid level. 23 is a level that people didn't really understand for quite a long time until some newer players came into the game, like Pika, or Pikra, and Lantro, or Ian. Yeah, Pikrin, yeah. So, yeah, I think, again, it's the only level in the run where you kind of use this. But Burst Bombs, they also instantly activate switches, so you can do the little sequence break, saves about 5 seconds, skips, having to wait for the blocks to form in a straight tower vertically. You can just climb it. So pretty cool. You're going to be seeing a lot of that in this level. Neat little skips with the Burst Bomb. Neat little sequence breaks. And this is a big skip. This saves about 10 seconds. You can, instead of activating the switch to the right that he passed, you can just throw a Burst Bomb and just activate all the final blocks, from the beginning, which is really cool. And he keeps that Inkzuka to actually make this room a lot faster. It makes you kill all the enemies a lot faster. Yeah, I love how Burst Bombs are used in World 5. It's so creative.
Oh my god.
Oh man, you know what? If you had to have a death, had to be here. That's gonna lose about 20 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it loses an immense amount of time dying here.
Yeah,
It was in the worst way possible.
Oh yes, I mean, I think definitely if you mess up the momentum shift with your jumps or something, or if you mistime it just a little bit, it's pretty easy to fall. I'm gonna pop that bubbler there to pick up the key and go right to the end here. It's a cool little strat. You don't have to wait for the the flutter to move out. You can just get it immediately. And just like that, everyone, we're getting to the final boss. Can you believe this category used to be 50 minutes, 50 or so minutes, and now it's about under 30 minutes. And yeah, just like that, we've only completed Worlds 1 and World 5. And we're going to be going straight into the final boss. It's going to be jumping to 25, as it's the fastest way to get to Octavia, the final boss, one of the best final bosses. Oh wow, you take that entrance very safe. I don't think I've seen that.
I'm having a problem with my headphones, so...
Oh, okay. Well, while he resolves that...
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, this final boss is probably my favorite boss in the entire Splatoon series. I mean, I'm an avid Splatoon player. I've played the games, speedran, played competitive, done a lot of different things. This boss is my favorite. It has the best mechanics for final boss, and has the best music as well. You know, gotta love me some Calamari Incantation, right? But yeah, this boss doesn't have any RNG that's impactful. It just has a bit of micro RNG with some of his attacks. You know, they can lose up to a second, maybe half a second. But I lost
also,
my
this
train of-
boss is really, really technical. So you will see
Yeah,
a lot of RNG.
Right. So kind of what Claude hinted at in boss 1. You know, this boss doesn't really have RNG. It's basically all skill. It's 100% skill. And that's what I love about it. So you're going to be seeing no cycle skips in this first phase because he's going to be sending out these fists one at a time. You're not going to really be seeing it until he sends out 2 at a time. But yeah, basically, especially since he picked up the burst bomb, since he bought it, the RFG is going to be way faster, and it's going to be way more consistent as well. So he's going to be able to send those fists back at breakneck speeds. You know, Splatoon is a 60 FPS game, so mashing really fast, you know, it's a learned skill. It can be really difficult. Yeah, he's going to be using this RFG exploit to send back these subwoofers, the things in the sky, really quickly, and sending back the fists quickly as well. But, you know, we're getting into the second phase, and we're getting into the actual kind of tech. These are called cycle skips or fist skips. There's a couple names for them. So this first set here is actually not a skip. It's just an optimization. So he's going to be tap shotting and then normally shooting the first fist. So when the second fist comes in front of his face, it's right there. You know, he doesn't have to wait. It's just a optimization thing. This is where the cycle skip is going to come into play. Does he get the... Yes, he does get the fist skips. There's 2 different ways to do that. So if you get the fist skip, which is what Claude just got, if you mash fast enough to where the game cannot recognize... how can I describe it? So he basically mashed so fast that the game did not recognize that the second fist was coming out. So he actually skipped the animation of the second fist. Now, you know, in comparison to the second method, you know, the backup method, the beginner method, it actually doesn't lose any time. It just makes the cycle skip more consistent. So, you know, Cloud is consistent enough at mashing to get the fist skips pretty consistently. And there's about 4 you have to land in each phase, that each varying difficulty. This one is the hardest in the entire boss fight, mostly due to the positioning. I'd say positioning is the most important part, and nails it. Good job to Cloud. And the hard one's very easy to mess up. And this cycle skip in comparison to the other one in phase 2, this one saves about 20 seconds because as long as you move forward and he doesn't move forward, right? You're aggressive. You can be able, you can make sure, you know, to push him all the way to the back, and if you push him all the way to the back of the arena, excuse me, you can actually just skip to his final phase of attacks. So he's going to go to that dialogue, yep, and he picked up that Inkzuka because of the subwoofers being really far away. So he's going to be using that to his advantage, and hitting the subwoofers a lot earlier than you know would normally be required. That's going to make a nice fast ending for phase 3 there. Now, you know, phase 4 is really interesting because give me 1 second here. But yeah, so phase 4 is really weird because there's a couple different variations. There's a more beginner-friendly route, and there's a more advanced route, and the advanced route saves about 2 seconds. Now, the thing in the advanced route is that if you do not get this fist skip right here in this third fist, you will lose so much time. So, if you go for the advanced route, you have to get it.
Oh my god. I'm actually surprised that I got it.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that one is hard, but I'd say under pressure, it can definitely be difficult. But yeah, because Claude skipped a fist at the beginning, he has to get a fist skip, has to get it, cannot do the backup, has to get it, to compensate. And the nice thing about phase 4 is that because, you know, you can skip a fist, doesn't matter. If you skip at the beginning, it's faster. If you skip it at the end, it's slower. But yeah, gets that advanced route pretty handily. Now, he does get another Inkzuka, and you're going to ask, why doesn't he use the Inkzuka here? Well, it's actually faster to use it at the end of Phase 5 in comparison to Phase 4, and that just comes down to distance. Distance. Banger coming up, by the way. It's really awesome. Banger-san. But, yeah, the subwoofer is actually way farther away at the end of Phase 5 in comparison to Phase 4, so he's just going to RFG at subwoofer at the end of Phase 4. Yeah, there's one more fist.
Is really good.
Yep, gonna have one more fist skip here. Probably the easiest one in the game. So does get it, and now he is set. He doesn't have to do anything else. It's really hard. It's just fist optimizations, I like to call them. So tap shotting, or it's how I learned it is you tap shot the fist twice, and then you shoot normally, and then when that fist goes back to Octavio, you flick to the left, and then the second fist is right in front of your face. So it's kind of like an optimization of fist timings.
Oh, I have a problem with my headphones. I can't hear you, so can you just
okay, that is that's sometimes that's what happens. Having technical issues, that's kind of what happens. But I'll be sure to save the day here. But yeah, these next two sets are really, they're really not that too difficult. It's just fist optimizations. Like I said, we're gonna be going to this last phase here. We're gonna be on a bit of a delay, but it's really weird. This first fist, if it comes center, you're actually gonna be getting a lot more iframes. You have to wait to sound your Inkzuka. Otherwise, you're actually gonna miss a shot. It's gonna eat it, and you're gonna lose time. So it does get the right there. Pretty nice. Pretty good RNG. A great ending there. And getting throwing a burst bomb here to send Octavia back into the Octavia. And that's gonna be, yeah, it's time. When he goes back into
GG.
it. A sub 30 in a marathon. That is really impressive. 6 minutes ahead of estimate. With the death. That is amazing. That's about, 52 seconds off your PB, right? Or 53?
That's 52 seconds off PB.
Yeah, that is... that was really funny. But yeah, I mean, congratulations. A sub 30 marathon. That really goes to show how impressively short this is. I mean, this category is 21 minutes faster now. Truly impressive stuff. I know it's brought me back to the game.
I would say for a live event, Cloud, a 29:57 when your PB I think is a 29:04, amazing showing, and we're super appreciative of you coming on and sharing us with Splatoon. Do you have any, you or Hydrus, do you have any shout outs that you want to give before we start wrapping things up?
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Lotro and any other runner that teach me something about this game. Like, especially Hyrule, that he is here, that he literally teach me some stuff. So I learned so much stuff from seeing other runners like Suhohe and Ryu and everyone else. Even some runners are lower from me in the leaderboards, like Tundi or King OJ. I learned something from them, so check it out if you want. And there's a guide from War for Early, and there's a guide for the old 80% route, so you can use those two guides to learn the game if anyone is interested in it.
Yeah, like Claude says, there's resources in the guide section of the leaderboard. It's always constantly being updated. And this is one of the premier speed games on the Wii U, next to the Wind Waker HD. Truly, we even had a video about us, made recently from a bigger speedrun YouTuber. But yeah, definitely pick this game up. It's very easy to get into. You just gotta learn a couple tricks, and a lot of the levels aren't even that difficult, to be honest. It's really just the tricks and the final boss, which I think stump a lot of beginners. But yeah, we have plenty of resources. If there's anyone I'd like to shout out, I know I've been kind of gone for a while, but I'd like to thank the Splatoon community for, being so awesome and giving me, the opportunity to, commentate in a marathon setting like this. I love doing stuff like this, and thanks to Cloud for, personally asking me to commentate. It's an honor. I've done stuff at GDQ and stuff like that. And having ran this game on and off since early 2019, I'm amazed at how far, runners like Fuyo, Sue, Pika, Pikra, Ian, Lantro. Continue to push this game, and I'm excited to see what comes next. So thank you for having me on. I don't have anyone specific to
Thanks
shout
for
out.
everyone who watched this run. I think this is the best, like, my base performance that I ever had in a marathon. So I'm really glad that I submitted this run.
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
GG's, Cloud. Thank you so much, Hydrus. Thank you so much, Cloud, for inking a great run on the record. Everybody, if you're not already doing so, please make sure to give Cloud a follow by scrolling down under the stream. Look at that title, click Cloud's user tag, and you can quickly give him a follow. Now, everyone, that is going to do it for the first day of Pixel Perfect Marathon 3. We are so appreciative of you tuning in, and we welcome you back in about 9 hours' time for the first run of day 2, where we're going to see Linkemeister doing a 100% run of Super Metroid Ascent. Now, don't change that channel, because we will be rating Pixels for People 2023, a speedrunning charity event benefiting Child's Play. Now, I'm going to post in the chat. I would love everyone to just, when we do that raid, to say, have a Pixel Perfect day. Until next time, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good one.